My friend, my main
Homie.
man. It's been such a good long time since I've seen you, but like every time it's a great chat. I think that, last time we actually recorded some content, you were walking us through some features that are now, two
Yes,
years
sir.
old at this point. But, it goes way back, dude. It goes way back. And I think that most of this space owes credit to you. Like even when I get on, calls with prospects, I kind of talk about, 4 or 5 years ago was the shift in the industry, right? When you came out with Smartlead, that's when sending went from Apollo, one seat, yada yada yada, to multi-domain, multi-inbox sending, trademark Christian Nolan, MDMI sending, where the shift happened, and it was because of Smartlead. Shortly thereafter, a few competitors have shown
Of
themselves,
course.
but
Yeah.
realistically, you guys are the most OG in the space. And I think most people owe credit to you. And then, had Clay not come out and made this big shift from, BDR to people now turning into GTM engineers, like those are the two pinnacle moments in this space. It's like Apollo came out 2018, Smartly came out what, 2022,
Two.
2020, 2022. Clay really like out of beta 2023, and that's evolved this space. So how does it feel to be like one of the OGs titans of this space?
The first time someone said that, I don't do compliments well, so appreciate it. No, man, I think we're standing on the shoulders of giants. There's heaps of players before us that we're forever grateful for, and there's heaps of players who've launched very similar and near time to us as well. That we're grateful for. I think the market is growing, and there's enough people in this space, a lot of money to be made, a lot of opportunity, and more so, to be honest, a lot of customers to serve. It feels grateful, but I think the OG title only stays if you are actually and can be OG and relevant. So the goal over here is to not just be the forgotten past, but the consistent future. So let's see how we keep up with the trends and if we're able to constantly, serve customers the way they need to be served.
So you're saying you're trying to go full unk or what?
Sorry,
You're trying to go unk,
I'm not
like
trying to go
the
on. But we're trying to. If I want to put it in the Gen Z way, we're trying to no cap it, and we're trying to feature max it and reply max it as much as we can. So yes.
reply maxing, dude. Yeah, I love it, man. Cool. Well, we'll keep this session kind of short. I think obviously I like to stay, really up to date with all the newest tech and new tools. And so what we decided is we're actually going to wait 2 weeks to redo this session or do the session again, where we'll walk through the tool as you release some new products. But while we got you here, I was like, well, let's just chat about it. Why don't you give us some of the
Yeah.
secret sauce? Let us know what's going on. And then not just secret sauce on features. I think like, hearing it straight from the source, observations on what's going on in the market, how things are changing, what people should be aware of, any of that stuff that you can like
Yeah.
let people in, because a lot of people are just starting with Smartlead. I'm used to having conversations with people that have been using it for 4 years and are established agencies, but there's a bunch of new people that start every single day. And I talk to like prospects every single day. They're like, yeah, I got in and I ran my first campaign and I blew it up, and like now I need your help, which I'm cool with that. But like, let's give them some advice that they can action on so they don't blow up their first campaigns and some of those things.
Awesome. Let's start with the first campaign part because I think that's a very crucial piece of the puzzle to be in. What I can kick off over here. Look, honestly, it's not a super genius or super specific thing. The nitty-gritties usually come in when you go super volume. I was just talking to a customer who's loading up 15,000 mailboxes in a campaign. When you go that type of level, then you need to really worry about things that no one of us really need to worry about. But if you're starting off a fresh campaign, honestly, the way I'd kick off is after actually meeting a few really well performing customers, I've liked this angle where you start off with a list. So you need to know who to sell to. It's the same stuff. So look, if you've seen this on YouTube, you've seen it somewhere else. I apologize. It's not going to be something unique that you're going to get out of this. But honestly, maybe the fact that it's being repeated so much should corroborate to the fact that you should just stick to the simplicities of things and not overcomplicate it.
Yep.
Find a bunch of people that you think are going to buy your product. You should know that at this point in time, or your service layer. Let's say you're an HVAC company over here, completely offline, really offbeat space, but they're also very successful in outbound if they do well. So you're an HVAC company, you're trying to close in more customers that you want to work with. A lot of this can be corporate entities. It could be data centers if you want to go down the enterprise path of it. It could be local communities. It could be carpentries. It could be local shops and so on and so forth. what you'd go ahead and do is find a list of leads that you think will potentially work with your particular servicing. The way you can easily do that, again, data prospecting becomes interesting. You can use a data source. Smartlead's got one that is effectively free for you to use if you want, unlimited leads if required. Along with that, you can use something more signal driven, which is perhaps you want to go ahead and find people who have left bad reviews of other people who've used HVAC companies similar to yours. Or if there's like a national registry, that a government mandated registry where jobs are put up from different individuals looking for HVAC fixing. Like in Australia, you have something called AirTasker. I think you have something called TaskRabbit in the US. So you can use
Yep.
something like that to see people who are putting up jobs for the ACs or whatever needs to be fixed. Or the heating needs to be sorted out and so on and so forth. Once you have a list of leads, then you need to go with a very clear problem statement and offer that you have in place. This doesn't need to be overcomplicated in a world that's extremely noisy, in a space that is extremely, again, service and reputation driven. You probably want to have a few well-known logos in your space. So we need to be very particular over here, where if you've served a customer that no one really knows, but if you serve a customer that is probably well known or somewhat known in the local community or the area that you're trying to sell to, in the vicinity you're in, that relevance is probably going to be important for you. It's also going to make you look achievable. Like if you say, oh, I've done HVAC for the data centers of Microsoft, but you're trying to sell to the local pizza shop, just it's not going to make a difference, right? So you want to
Yep.
be very specific to the audience you're trying to sell to, and then have a very straightforward offer. Maybe your competitors and people around you charge for a call out fee. You can just cop the call out fee and say that I won't charge you anything, but I'll add that to the actual service once it's delivered or whatever may be the case. And that's about it. That's all.
Yep.
Send a message and buy a bunch of mailboxes. That again, Smartlead offers, or you can use other tools to do it. Gmail and Outlook, stick to classic stuff. Don't worry about the SMTP things that you might have seen online. You can go to that a bit later and warm up your mailboxes, because again, you're doing outbound. You're not going to get natural replies. Emails are meant to get replies. Outbound gets a reply rate of about 5 to 6% if you're really lucky and you do a good job at it. I mean, some people get 30% as well, but you're starting fresh, so you're probably going to get 5 to 6%. Warm it up so that there's a better chance of deliverability being improved. We handle a lot of it, but good for you to do that as well. And then once the replies show up, we have a mobile application. You get a ping, a little juicy notification, and from that mobile app, you can pretty much call the customer directly. We also offer phone numbers. Get on a call with them, book a meeting, and show up. So we will handle everything for you, but you obviously need to start the conversation, which, by the way, we'll jump into because we're going to be helping you do that very soon as well.
Here's one things I would add to that, right?
Yes,
For
yes.
anyone that I'm talking to this year, for anyone, period. Like everyone needs to have a better offer. Everyone. Like the difference, the margin between great, good, and terrible is offer. Right. And that is the one thing that is in your control as the person using it. And so, like, everyone reads the 100 million Alex Hormozy $100 million offers and things like that. But a lot of people don't actually like then walk out and wrap their head around it. You need to try, if you can, you need to try and build a risk reversal offer.
Yes.
Because
yes, always.
You have to imagine, like, most people are getting, like, I wake up with 100 emails in my inbox every day, some of them cold, some of them correspondence, but like I go through and I delete, like, click 95% of them are gone. I look at the preview line of 5, I delete 3, I click into 2, like, and if that one email, that's like just is getting to the 1 yard line, and if that one email that they open doesn't have an offer that becomes a no-brainer, it gets really difficult. So
100%.
that's the one thing I would say everyone, like, go put your offer in AI, ask, how can I risk reverse this? How can I make this a more compelling offer? Because everyone's competitors are always in their own space. It's almost impossible that, like, you're the only person that exists with your tool.
Yep.
And then if you are, then it's like, well, does anyone want your tool? But anyways, so offer needs to be like airtight, and that's a very easy place, like, to maybe a first thing to diagnose if you don't see performance on your first campaigns. Is not like, hey, is my targeting bad? Like, if you're getting a 2, 3, 4, 5% reply rate, your targeting is probably fine. But if you're getting no positive replies, go and diagnose your offer, right? Cool. Well, why don't we do this? Give me a little preview. Give me a little secret sauce.
Yeah,
Tell me
I'll show you 2-3 things that we have, somewhat relevant, somewhat not. So now we'll switch the conversation from people who are, just getting into the space to people who are in the space. For anyone in the space, we understand and know that one of the things that is the most annoying thing is infrastructure, as we call it, to sound fancy and cool, but it's basically mailboxes. One thing we just launched that we're super excited about is something called auto-rotate. I'll explain that to you in a quick second. Auto-rotate is effectively going to save you a ton of effort. All it does is, instead of you having to be very pedantic about is it working, is it not working, what's the cause, what's not the cause, we will effectively find out or help you basically set up a process where, as you can see, if your mailbox burns, we will trigger it for you. We will find a new mailbox that is in a similar domain. We will warm it up for you without you having to worry about it, and we'll automatically attach it to the existing campaign that replace the mailboxes that were previously burnt. And we'll delete the old mailboxes, but we'll keep them for 30 days just in case you get replies. That's it. Super simple. And the way it works is you go ahead and tell us which how long you're going to warm it up for, etc. And then you basically give us a health threshold, which is the main part. Is if you see a bounce rate for your mailboxes increase by a certain percentage over a 14-day window, or if your reply rate has dropped by a certain percentage, just let us know and we'll go ahead and replace that for you automatically. And you don't need to do anything. So you can set this up as a simple automation. So whenever you have your mailboxes burn or about to burn or get close to burning, you don't need to go ahead and go through that entire wazoo of, okay, I need to go try something else now. I need to get something new. It's all handled for you. Just a click of a button at the time you set up, it's done, dusted, and you can forget and go to bed. And your replies will be managed and self-automated pretty much all the way through. So that's one thing. For those who struggle with this at the moment, it will be taken care of for you.
I mean, I think that this is for us, we had built this maybe a year and a half ago, finally, after, we have a whole infrastructure team. We've got 100,000 mailboxes. And so this became, again, we talked about it earlier, like we're the type of people on the leading edge of this that are really geeking out on this. But the average person, again, is like, I have no idea if my stuff is burned and I have no idea what to do. And so this becomes just an absolute asset, I think, for anyone. I mean, I think that we're one of the only agencies that I know of that's ever.
You're amongst the very few doing this. Yep.
Yeah. So this is an incredible tool.
Yes. So yeah, we'll hope everyone will like it. And as Christian called out, he set it up a while ago and he's got his whole team to build it. So this will help you out at a much smaller scale. If you're not using an agency or you can't afford an agency yet, it can help you build up to a point where you can work with a team like Christian to make sure it's set up and good to go for you. And the other thing to add on over here is something called Smart Assistant, or basically what we'd refer to as so for those who basically come to the product for the first time, just for context for you, this is a demo account, so ignore whatever you see there. You can actually go ahead and have a full conversation with Smart Assistant. It will actually have control of the application for you. So you can actually ask it, go to the subscription page, right? And do something. It will actually do it for you. It will analyze the content copy. It's a fully integrated product. It is not just a Claude wrapper. It will actually integrate into your application, your logs, your mailboxes, your mailbox health, etc., and everything else that's required to give you full-blown assistance on how your campaigns are performing and what to do and what not to do. And that is what we are now entering into the new world for us, which is what we refer to as Workforce, or so you can see it's a whole new experience. Nice. Everything changes over here. So what the insights box will do is basically tell you your entire account's health at any point in time. So it will tell you how your bounce rate is, how your reply rates are, how many replies you're getting, how many mailboxes are failing on authentication layer, how many mailboxes have issues, which one's reputation is degrading, where your throughput is in problem, and so on and so forth, and how your campaigns are performing overall. And the whole goal of this over here is you can pretty much summarize it or just click a button and it will automate that entire experience for you, so you don't need to do anything. That is just the entry point. Insights will be out or it is out for most people right now. But what we've got actually coming up, the one that we're actually looking forward to, is effectively what we call Workforce. Dude, what Workforce will do is you can come to Workforce and ask it to go ahead and fix my reply rate. We will deploy a workforce of 4 to 5 agents. We have a deliverability agent, we have a copywriting agent, we have a lead prospecting agent, we have a mailbox agent, we have a few other agents as well. And these will work in tandem with your account to go ahead and understand what needs to be done. I think the example that Christian gave for perspective's sake, so I'll obviously stop sharing my screen here so you can see my face. So Christian's example over here, what we will do at this point in time is, if you told us that your constraint is your leads, like you know who you want to sell to, and your mailboxes are fine, we will actually go ahead and analyze your copy, understand your copy, and compare it to other campaigns in your own account, as well as others who have provided consent, to understand who is performing better and why. Now, the important part over here is we're not just going to go ahead and take their stuff and give it to you, but we're going to give you advisory information on how to improve your campaign as well, which is, it could be for these type of people that you're trying to sell to, and for these type of mailboxes, to Christian's point, you are not offering a risk reversal model where we can see other campaigns. We've got a couple 100,000 campaigns running at any point in time. We have n amount of campaigns who meet your exact persona and exact audience, and they are doing X, Y, and Z. You need to do X, Y, and Z as well. Now, the goal over here is the workforce's job is like consultants, or if you hire a team, so they'll work really closely with agencies as well. The goal over here is to utilize data in an efficient manner. So not just Claude it or ChatGPT Solid, but actually wrap data in the right way and allow you to go ahead and perform in an effective manner. And of course, given this is consent driven, you can only access that information if you also consent to having your data being shared as well. And to be very clear, no data is shared. It's a training model. So the way we operate over here is we are going to go ahead and categorize every campaign into 11 entities: risk reversal, offer time, who you want to go with, guarantee, you want to go with social proofing, you want to go with the links, the density of personalization. We have about 11 to 14 parameters. So every campaign is basically given a metric score. And then based upon that metric score, we're going to find other campaigns matching that same metric score. So there's a lookalike that's effectively set up. And then based upon that, then we would basically lace the LLM model in real time with relevant information. So that is then is inspirationally passed on to you over here to be like, hey, you need to make this, and change. If you make certain changes, it'll work well for you. Here's some suggestions that we can have. So that is what is going to be coming out in a few days' time. That doesn't only work for copywriting, it'll even work for leads. We'll help you find new leads for you. Either we'll find lookalike leads on your existing campaign, or we'll find new leads for you that you did not know existed. We'll fix and manage your mailboxes. Effectively, the workforce will go ahead and help you manage almost everything, again, to a point where you can scale up and get to a point where you can work with a team like Christian and actually help them, help yourself manage the entire campaigns on their behalf. Yeah.
That's sick, man. That's sick. So I'm excited. We're going to record in 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to re-record this session. We're going to teach people exactly how to use it super quickly. Last but not least, just quick question. What do you think the role of right now is for cold calling and getting people on meetings, right? Or using the cold calling aspect or to make dials and what's the value there?
To go back to your original conversation, which is everyone's doing something. So I would say email is the easiest mechanism out usually, because it's usually automated. Copywriting can be done offshore, etc. But for dialing, you need experience, and not too many people are good at it. So I would still say dialing is actually one of the best mechanisms we've seen for people to close deals, at least from ourselves as well. So I would always recommend it. Of course, when you dial without a brand presence, it gets very, very hard. So therefore, doing something where you can do outbound or you can do LinkedIn, where there's that sort of soft access to them being aware of you as a person, will really help. So some sort of predicated signaling to them, complemented with a dial. I think Lucero's spoken about a bit. A bunch of people have spoken about this, where they're seeing their reply rate or their booking rate. Sorry, not reply rate. Their booking rate has skyrocketed by like 80%.
That's what I was leading to, is like if you can be pairing warm calling and appointment setting with your reply rate, it's absolutely massive right now. 100%. So I think cold calling has made a really huge resurgence in the last year, and I think it will continue to do so. But if you can do it alongside that, it's a super valuable asset. So V, thank you, my friend. As always, short but sweet session. You now get something set up for 2 weeks. Adios, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you having me as always. Very kind of you, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good day.
All right, later.